Let's get this morning started here with some beer brats, honey. It's Packer season. Everybody's got beer brats that they love. So I make mine just a little bit different. That's not true. I make them the traditional way, normally boiled with some onions and then finished on the grill and maybe reduced down that beer. But this is actually kind of a fun braising or skillet meal. I'm doing them in cast iron today, but you can do it in a big braiser or a Dutch oven. First of all, over here in my big skillet, I started cooking down some onions with some butter and a little olive oil from the stock market and just getting those just starting to get caramelized. You gotta go low and slow for these. You have to get them kind of on a medium-high heat and then bring it down to low and just let them hang out and make your whole kitchen and your whole house smell amazing. To this though, now that these have gotten a good head start, let's go ahead and get some apples in here. I like to add a little sweetness to this because it goes so well with whatever beer you're using. Apples and beer go together great, so why wouldn't we? Now, yesterday, if you watched the show, I believe I talked about the pool situation at my new house. If not, I've got to give you an update. So we can't move into our new house just yet because we are so busy. Gather is slammed, life is slammed, everything's busy right now. So we can't move in just yet. But my new house has a pool, which is very exciting for me and the kids and Tommy. And we went over there yesterday. We signed the papers yesterday. We went over there. You got the keys. We went to our new gorgeous home, cranked up the pool heat. We cranked it up to 80 because we knew we were going to surprise the blessed children after I got done with work last night at like 10. We're going to go home, surprise them, say, get your suits on. We're going to do a cannonball. Let's go. Like Tommy and I were so excited to, and I only agreed to do this because Tommy said, don't worry, we'll heat the pool up. I said, okay, I'll do it in October if you heat it up. So, and we'd already been there that day and everything looked great and everything was working out great. For some reason, they just the electric company decided that we weren't there yet and shut off the power. We don't know why. We got there, it was pitch black, there was no lighting. So that meant there was no heater for the pool. So 10 at night last night, our new neighbors must think we're nuts. We got in our suits and we did cannonballs. It was a polar plunge. It was something I would only do for cool mom points. No offense, Tommy. Probably wouldn't have done it if it was just Tommy asking me to do it. And it was really cold. And you know what? My kids thought I was really cool. And then we jumped back in the car, freezing cold in towels, ran home. It was an adventure. That's what it was. So the cannonball happened last night, but it was so cold. I'm still cold. We all fought for the showers when we got home to get in hot showers. It was a little chilly. But what's funny is I was telling Chelsea and Sarah this. We live in such a different generation now. My 10-year-old, Luke, we're on the way home and he's like, yeah, but Mom, those polar plunges, they're so good for your mental clarity, your mental health. Don't you feel so much clearer now? And I was like, yeah, like my lips are blue. I didn't, but he seems to have gotten some great clarity. So here we are this morning, it's Thursday. Let's keep on rolling through the week. So now I've added my apples to the onions. I'm gonna let these kind of start sinking down with those onions. Let those get a little color on them too, now that those onions are pretty caramelized. Got 3 cloves of garlic over here. Running my knife through that. Get these all seasoned up. You can use the garlic if you want to for this one, no big deal if it makes your life easier. Yesterday, Angie Horkman is on. She had never heard the word garlic before. She was like, what did you say? I'm like, garlic, the garlic from a jar. Totally fine to use in you know, most recipes. We're talking about it. I blew her mind and it made me so happy that I was able to enrich her life the way I do. All right, so now these onions and apples are starting to smell good. In a real life, I'd probably want these apples to sink down more, but we're on a live show here. We don't have 30 minutes for you to sit here and watch me do this. Hence the head start on the onions. Let's go ahead and get our garlic in here. We're gonna let that start cooking down. Of course, we're gonna use some really good brats we got going on over here from Pelkin Smoky Meat. They have the Swamico and the Crivets location. So feel free to swing by. I think they said last time they were here, they had over 80. Yep, Abby's in my ear, yep. Abby now just knows if I look to the sky like I'm asking God a question, I'm actually talking to her in her ear, and she can answer me. 80 different kinds of brats. So when I was looking over all the different flavors, we went classic today, but I was thinking the Bloody Mary ones in this might be good. I don't know, they have so many different ones to try. So now I'm gonna get a little bit of beef broth. We're gonna whisk a little sauce together here. We have a cup of beef broth. We're gonna do a little Dijon mustard in here as well. If I can get this out. Okay, you know what? I don't even want that one. I don't even want you. I want this one. Dijon, you know, brats, Dijon, beer. Building blocks of life, everybody. And then I'm also gonna do a cup of beer. Whatever kind of beer you like to drink, just don't go too dark. The dark beers are where it starts to get bitter, so no one's in the mood for that. Yeah, these apples are getting a little bit of color on them. Now in real life, I want you to let these go just a little bit more, but we're gonna keep on rolling here. But starting to soften up, starting to look good. We're gonna do 1 cup. I got a fun little Door County local lager here, and I just need a cup of that. I'll put the rest on the side because Sarah, she'll finish this off by the end of the show. You know how she is. She's gonna be like going, what? I'm just teasing. Sorry, it's all this mental clarity I have, you know, from my polar plunge last night. Here you go, Sarah. Cheers, my dears. All right, we're gonna add this in here. Give this a good whisk. I'm gonna hit it with just a tiny bit of salt and pepper as well, but we got a lot of flavors going on here. We don't need too much. Just gonna throw it on myself as well because it's that kind of day. All right, we're gonna go ahead. Give this one more stir. Those onions are just getting nice and jammy. Apples are softening up a little bit. Let's get some sauce in here. Heck yeah. And while that comes to a, let me crank up the heat here. Let that come to a boil. Let's get our brats out. Now you can make this with, if you want to add in 10 brats in here and make a bigger one, like make this as big as you want. It's just another way to serve beer brats on maybe game day or an easy weeknight dinner. And then you just plop these in and we're just gonna throw it in the oven and let it all come together. I have one ready to go. We're just gonna kind of nestle these in here. And then I have one ready to go to show you. You're just gonna cook it until those brats are cooked all the way through, and they just, you know, they're cooked till I think like about 160 or so, 165. You're gonna pull them. I got a heavy skillet, I need 2. Here we go. And it got all saucy. The sauce kind of evaporated a little bit and got really concentrated. So you can see the apples and the onions in this beer sauce. Now you have several ways if you want to serve this. So of course, you got the buns. You can always do the buns. But one of the ways I really like to serve this, cut the brats up, stew it all together over potatoes, over some thick bread, over something that is hearty, maybe little roasted potatoes thrown there. Now it's like a skillet. It's just a sweet, salty, savory brat dish. I think it's delicious, and I'm gonna get the other one in the oven so we get this crew fed today.